I moved to Canada at 16, leaving my parents behind with just $1,500 in my bank account. Fast forward to my 20s, I found myself buried under close to $50,000 in debt, much of it from credit cards. It was a tough lesson, but I made significant changes that eventually led to more than $4 million net worth. In this video, I'll break down 7 key principles that helped me turn my life around. Principles anyone can apply, no matter where they are in their journey. First, let's talk about budgeting. My approach might be different from what you might expect. Many people think of budgeting as just finding ways to spend less on certain things. But to me, budgeting is about identifying the costs you can eliminate entirely. It's about analyzing your spending to understand what truly matters to you, so you can prioritize the things that brings you the most happiness and completely eliminate what doesn't. Here's an example to illustrate how this works. Let's say Johnny spends $100 a month on Starbucks and another $100 on 2 dinner dates with his girlfriend. These 2 expenses cost the same, but their value might be different to Johnny. For simplicity, let's assign happiness points. Johnny gives 80 happiness points to his Starbucks habit and 100 happiness points to the 2 dinner dates, 50 points per date. In total, Johnny gets 180 points of happiness from these activities. Now, when we analyze this, it's clear that Johnny should spend more on the dinner dates and less on Starbucks. By cutting back on his Starbucks spending, perhaps by drinking free coffee at the office or investing in a coffee machine at home, Johnny can save that money and put it in towards more dinner dates. By doing so, he could increase his total happiness from 180 to 200 points. Here's the twist. Johnny's girlfriend enjoys the date so much that she decides to pay for one of the dinners. Now Johnny is spending only $150 instead of $200, but his happiness has increased from 180 points to 200 points. This is how you should approach budgeting. It's not about cutting everything that costs money, but about reallocating your funds that brings you the most joy and satisfaction. By aligning your spending with what truly matters, you'll not only save more, but you'll also feel more content with how you're using your money. Next, you may have heard of passive income, but the key idea is making your money work for you. It's not just about side hustles. It's about ensuring every dollar you have is working for you, not sitting idle in your checking account where it benefits the bank instead. My dad always told me that most of my income should come from sources outside of my job, which he saw as a way to stay productive and avoid boredom. I took this to mean I should look for opportunities to earn outside of work. If you're already good at your job, think about how your skills can lead to opportunities outside of it. Even better, if you're young, choose a career that can eventually help you start your own business. While working for someone else, your job can still be a valuable place to learn skills that boost your side income opportunities. After that challenging period I mentioned earlier, I took this advice to heart. I started investing at 19, and even though my results were modest at first, I saw it as a way to make my money work for me. In my late 20s, I shifted my career to accounting to deepen my investment knowledge. Today, most of my wealth has come from investing in individual stocks. With that said, let's delve into the concept of compound interest, which is a concept that everyone should understand if they want to have a wealthy mindset. Albert Einstein famously referred to it as the 8th wonder of the world, and for good reason. Even small returns can lead to significant growth over time. To illustrate this, let's consider a simple example. Imagine you invest $1,000 at an annual interest rate of 10%. With simple interest, you earn $100 each year, totaling $2,000 after 10 years. However, with compound interest, the situation is quite different. With compound interest, you earn interest not only on your initial investment, but also on the interest that has already accumulated. If you invest $1,000 at 10% interest compounded annually, you would have nearly $2,600 after 10 years. Importantly, while simple interest allows you to double your money in 10 years, compound interest enables you to nearly double it in just 7 years, an acceleration of 3 years. If you consistently practice disciplined saving and investing, you can often double your savings in much shorter time frames. For instance, if you add $100 per year to your investment, you could reach close to $2,000 mark in just 4 years. By consistently doubling your money every 4 years, you can transform a small amount into something substantial relatively quickly. Next, let's talk about the role of risk in achieving financial success. Many people prioritize comfort and security, while those who build wealth tend to embrace growth and take calculated risks. To achieve significant gains, you must be willing to take risks. Risk is often misunderstood as reckless behavior, like gambling. But in everyday life, we take risks all the time. For example, asking someone out on a date is a risk of rejection. But without taking that chance, you might never form a meaningful relationship. What seems risky is often just unfamiliar. One of the best ways to mitigate risk is through knowledge. For instance, while stocks may seem risky to some, I find real estate to be riskier because I understand the stock market better and can use strategies like diversification, something harder to do with real estate. Remember the saying, sometimes the greatest risk is not taking any risk at all. Avoiding risk altogether can prevent you from reaching your life goals. With an understanding of risks in mind, the next essential lesson is learning how to use debt effectively. There's a common saying that debt and taxes make the rich richer, while they often make the poor and middle class poorer. Understanding this dynamic is key to achieving financial success. First, it's crucial to differentiate between bad debt and good debt. Many people use debt for consumption, spending on things like clothes, vacation, or dining out. This type of debt is generally unproductive. In contrast, good debt can be a powerful tool for building wealth. It can also be used for investments, purchasing real estate, or starting a business. This doesn't mean you should avoid credit cards altogether. In fact, credit cards can be an excellent tool if used correctly. I personally charge almost everything to my credit card, but I always pay off the balance in full by the due date. By doing so, I avoid interest charges and take advantage of the rewards offered by the card. One of the most powerful ways to use good debt is through real estate investment. For example, if you buy a condo for $300,000, you might put down $60,000 of your own money and borrow $240,000 from the bank. If the condo's value increases to $400,000, your equity in the property rises from $60,000 to $160,000, while the amount you owe to the bank stays the same at $240,000. Even though the condo's value has grown by 33%, your investment has appreciated by an impressive 167%. Another common question I get is whether it's a good idea to pay off a mortgage early. The answer depends on the interest rate and what you plan to do with the extra money. For instance, if you locked in a low interest rate of 2% and the current average annual return of the market is 10%, it may make more sense to invest the extra money rather than using it to pay down your mortgage faster. A solid option could be investing in an S&P 500 ETF. If you look at the world and only see obstacles, it can be hard to recognize the opportunities around you. This mindset can limit your potential and stunt your growth. When you focus on your fears, you waste valuable time dwelling on challenges and blockers. If you approach life this way, you risk missing opportunities for growth and innovation. In contrast, consider someone who views obstacles as opportunities. This person sees challenges as chances to create value, not just for themselves, but for others who may also view the same challenges as barriers. For example, many people see having roommates as a way to save money, but view them as an obstacle for privacy. I see them differently as potential new family members. Recently, I had a spare guest bedroom and wanted to learn French. I saw this as an opportunity to enhance my language skills. I joined a local Francophone Facebook group and found people looking for a room to rent. In exchange for a lower market rate, I asked them to speak French when they were around the house. Over the past few years, I've had several of these roommates. And with the last one, we became close friends. Now, we're even working together to create a startup. Lastly, one of the most powerful ways to achieve financial success and personal growth is by treating your life like a business. Just as a business uses clear strategies to manage finances, growth, and decisions, you can apply the same principles to your life. This mindset shift helps you approach challenges in a more structured and strategic way. For example, the budgeting approach I mentioned earlier is actually a business-style strategy, but tailored to your personal life. Goal setting is also another key aspect. In business, it's essential to know where you want to be next quarter, year, or even in 3 to 10 years. Similarly, in your personal life, you should set financial goals for specific timeframes and review them annually to ensure you're on track. Marketing may seem odd in a personal context, but it's crucial if you want to create opportunities outside of your job. Invest in your network and personal brand. Think about how you want to be remembered and dedicate time, effort, and sometimes money to building that brand. Lastly, consider how you make decisions. In business, decisions are driven by data, strategy, and long-term impact. Apply the same approach in your personal life, whether choosing a job, making a big purchase, or investing. Remove as much as emotions as possible. Gather information and make decisions that align with your long-term goals. By treating your life as a business, you take ownership of your future and make decisions that drive you towards success. This approach helps you see the bigger picture, be proactive about your growth, and apply strategic thinking to all areas of your life. Before we wrap up, I want to remind you that the information shared in this video is for educational purposes only. It's essential for you to do your own research and consult with a qualified financial advisor before making any investment decisions or changes to your financial plan. Everyone's financial situation is unique, and what works for one person may not be suitable for another. So there you have it. These are the principles that have shaped my financial journey. I'd love to hear your thoughts. What tips have helped you cultivate a wealthy mindset? Comments below. And if you found this video helpful, don't forget to subscribe and hit the bell icon for more content like this. Thanks for watching, and remember, it's never too late to start changing your financial future. Catch you in the next video.